Request lines are open, 570-208-5821. If you want to tune in online, go to wrkc.kings.edu, or for better access on the go, download the free TuneIn app to your phone and look up WRKC. We have a lot of stuff coming up on the way, and there's going to be, in just a few moments, part one of my interview with Dan Sindel, which I did just a few weeks back. As I'm queuing this up, I also have some concerts to tell you about at Penn's Peak in Jim Thorpe. On February the 10th, it's Jackal with Tug Smith and Restless Hearts. February the 16th, the Winery Dogs. And February 18th, Dokken and Lynch Mob with Ted Poley. Right now then, without any more delay, this is part two of my interview with Dan Sindel.
Now, with the demos that you had at the time, was there any interest at all from either U.S. or overseas labels?
I'm sure there was a little interest, but nothing ever transpired as far as somebody really wanting to take the band into a studio with a proper budget and get it properly done, or a few major labels approached us, but I don't think the deals and offers were ever truly in our best interest, so we never signed the dotted line and sold our souls for a bad deal. Well, probably thankfully by now,
Yep.
Look at a lot of people who are probably still $400,000 in debt for a contract they signed in the 80s.
Yep.
Careful what you ask for, right?
Yep. I also, too, want to send prayers and love on the loss of fellow bandmate and guitarist Jim McDonald. When I was looking stuff up on Encyclopedia Metallum, I saw that he passed away sometime last year.
Well, thank you for your condolences. That's very kind of you. Yeah, it's a tough loss losing a friend. Me and Jim, we met in high school, and I guess we were about 16 years old, and we just hit it off as best friends and started playing guitar together every day, kitchen class, and just playing music and hanging out. And after a couple of years, we had a lot of riffs together, and it just started falling into place. The metal scene was getting big. Guys like Armored Saint were starting to hit it big, and it was just the right time to get out and do something, which we did. I guess we did the best we could with what we had.
Now, for your next band, was that MX Machine?
No. Actually, after Stone Soldier had its run in the mid-90s, maybe 93, I decided to start a new project, because with Soldier, I always wanted to go heavier than where the band was. I wanted to go more into the realm of where Sepultura was.
Okay.
And, where Slayer was a little bit more hardcore. Even in the, just more hard-hitting, like Anthrax and Cannibal Corpse, were those bands. Nobody else in that band wanted to go down that road. They wanted to stay more with power metal and, I guess, traditional thrash, whatever you call it these days. But whatever. So I enlisted a drummer named Lonnie Pasillas, and just an amazing musician. And we put together a band called Brutal Peace. And we did a 3-song demo, which is online on YouTube somewhere. And it's pretty hardcore. It's definitely in the realm of Sepultura and Pantera and what have you. So if you're really more of a hardcore metal fan, there are 3 songs up there that you can find. Maybe I can get you the link if you want to share it with your listeners. I don't know how that might be done, but...
Sure thing.
Let me know.
Now, there was quite a gap between that and the Marching In EP from 2008. Was there anything else musically going on between those roughly 13 years?
To be honest with you, no, not really. After Brutal Peace broke up, just here in Los Angeles, it was just a bad time for playing music of that genre. Nobody was interested in hardcore death thrash metal at that point in time. Hip-hop and Seattle and just 90s K-rock music was big. The alternative stuff. People really weren't listening to the hardcore metal. Nobody was showing up at the shows. There weren't even really many shows to play. There just wasn't much of an audience, so there wasn't much to do. So that sort of fizzled out as well after a bit. I became disenchanted with music for a while. I actually started doing other things for about 10 some odd years. I went and got certified with Microsoft computers and started working at the local Navy base on computer systems just to go and do something else. But after a while, the music bug hit me again, and that's when I decided to try and teach myself how to learn how to record on the computer. And the Marching In project, and thanks for bringing that up, that was pretty much a culmination of me testing out all types of different software, and finally I got into Pro Tools and learned how to record on a bigger scale. So yeah, the whole Marching In thing is a culmination of all my experiments with classical music arrangements, trying to do the whole symphony with guitar tracks, and that was the byproduct of that. And it's pretty funny if I could tell you a story, because it still amazes me, because I'm a metal guy, and like most metal fans, if you hear music that doesn't live in your realm, you're going to kind of hate on it pretty immediately. you know, there's a lot of intolerance there for other styles. If you're not Slayer, you're going to pretty much get rid of the riot act, right? So I was kind of really hesitant posting any of that music online. I did it for myself, just to see how far I could go with recording. But MySpace was pretty hot way back then. Facebook didn't even exist.
Yeah.
So about, 2006 or something? I'm not sure. 2007. I was just about to pull the trigger and put a couple of those songs on MySpace, but part of me just says, oh, don't do it, man. People are just going to flame you. They're going to call you bad names. But I just said, hell with it. Let's just see what happens. So I put a couple songs up there, and within a week or two, it was just kind of really funny. I started getting these private messages on MySpace, and I thought everybody was jumping on me like some big kind of you got punked type of a joke, where everybody's in on it but me. But everybody was saying, congratulations, you're in Guitar Player magazine. I didn't want to believe them. I thought this was just some big joke. But lo and behold, I got a real official note from Guitar Player magazine, and they said, hey, we love one of your John Philip Sousa arrangements from the Marching In, and we're featuring you in the next magazine with Alan Holdsworth on the cover. And that was in, I think, 2008 at that point. So that actually, I was afraid to share it in public, and it actually ended up giving me international attention. Kind of funny. Hey, everybody, this is Dan Sindel, and you're listening to Bob's Metal Show on WRKC 88.5, Wilkes Barre.
I'm really digging, man, your plan to rule the world. I'm really trusting, man, your plan to rule the world. I'm really digging, man, your plan to rule the world. I'm really trusting, man, your plan to rule the world. I'm really digging, man, your plan to rule the world. I'm really trusting, man, your plan to rule the world. Complete domination, your plan to rule the world. Just an observation, your plan to rule the world. your plan to rule the world. No time must stay on course, no deviation. To one and all, like the temptation. No time must stay on course, no deviation. To one and all, can't fight the sensation. No time must stay on course, no deviation. To one and all, can't fight the sensation. Complete domination, your plan to rule the world. Just an observation, your plan to rule the world. Disappointment headed your way, your plan to rule the world. To die in frustration, your plan to rule the world. Disappointment headed your way, your plan to rule the world. To die in frustration, your plan to